I declare the public hearings for Municipal Operations Committee open. Would you please stand, if you're able, for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now the blah blah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's Monday, as we all know, March 10th, 2025, 7:10 p.m. This is a public hearing. It's in person, and virtual meeting is online. In accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, which extends the Governor's March 12, 2020, order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until March 31st, 2025. This meeting will be conducted both in person and virtually via Google Meets. And let me just reiterate, a public hearing will be held by the Municipal Operations Committee on Monday, March 10, 2025 at approximately 7 p.m. to hear and discuss the annual town meeting articles listed on the agenda. The meeting may be recorded, may be broadcasted live and or streamed over SMAC, which is at www.stoughtontv.com, and or recorded for later broadcast and internet access. To participate in the public hearing with Google Meets, on the agenda is the URL, and to join the public hearing by phone, it's 1-413-893-3225, and the PIN is 174-654-774#. Madam Chair, I turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to call the roll. Donna Flynn, John DeStefano,
Here.
Cynthia Walsh is here. Scott Heller.
Yes, here.
Eileen McGuire. Fran Brutnitti has resigned from the committee. Winchell Laguerre.
He is online. He just hasn't. Winchell, can you unmute yourself to mark yourself present?
And someone said Donna's on there too?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Thank you, Donna. Janice McKenna. Okay, presently a quorum is 4 and we have 5 present, so we can proceed. Unless there's exigent circumstances, I'm going to just go in the order that's on the agenda. My name is Cynthia Walsh. I'm the chair of Municipal Operations Committee. And I know it's tempting for the members of the audience of the committee to ask questions as petitions come forward for other matters. And I will rule those out of order, gavel them out of order. Please try to stick to the point. We have 14 articles we're going to try to do. And remember, town employees are available during the work week by email or on the phone, so you don't have to grab them by the lapels at a public hearing. The first article is Article 22. So would the petitioner for Article 22 come forward? The 5-year reevaluation of, is that the person that's on?
Hi, yep. My name is Julie Cassidy, Director of Assessing. I'm online.
Okay, would you just read your article, please?
Sure. I have Article 22, 5-year revaluation of all properties in town. The revaluation is a process conducted by the town in the collaboration with the state to ensure that the valuation of real property is fair and equitable across the municipality.
So
this just involves.
She's making her presentation. She's not reading the article.
Right.
Oh, I apologize.
Did you want to read the article?
No?
Okay.
Thank you. Have you finished your presentation? Are you ready?
I apologize. Yes.
Ready for questions? Are you ready for questions?
Sure.
Okay. Scott, do you have any questions?
No.
Donna, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
John?
Well, I didn't see her presentation. Was that before I logged in?
That was the presentation.
That was the presentation, that I totally missed it.
Yeah.
It's, can she give me like a minute? Can she give me like a minute summary?
Madam Chair, may I?
Sure.
Julie's having trouble speaking because she's been ill.
Okay.
The reevaluation is required by the state every 5 years, that all properties are reevaluated. And that's what this consulting fee is for, is to perform that reevaluation in the new fiscal year. I hope that's helpful.
In which properties are we talking about? Residential, commercial?
All residential properties.
All residential properties, okay. All right, thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Winchell, did you have any questions?
I do not.
I don't either. Anyone in the audience with a question? Anyone online with a question? Well, thank you very much, and we hope you feel better. Next is Article 23, Sewer Department Capital. Would you introduce yourself? You're fairly new to the population.
Good evening, Madam Chair and the board. My name is Keith Nastasia, the Water and Sewer Superintendent.
Okay. Each of us has a copy of your article. Would you like to describe item 1 and item 2, please?
Yes. The sewer article is for sewer I&I, which is inflow and infiltration. It's the town's annual infiltration rehabilitation of the sewer system. The request is for $450,000 to continue the program on.
Okay. Are there any questions from the committee on item 1?
I have no questions.
I don't hear any questions. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the online?
No.
Does someone have a question, Mr. Moderator? I see D is flashing.
No, I was just noting that I did not have a question.
Does, who is speaking? I can't.
That was me, Donna Flynn. I do not have a question. I was just noting that I did not have a question.
Okay, thank you. And there were no other questions on that. Item 2, please.
Item 2 is a request for $200,000 for the sewer hydraulic modeling, which are flow assessment. It's townwide. It's 14 flow meters that's set up throughout the town to assess the sewer system, to see where we've made improvements and where parts of the system need to be done. It's requested by MWRA and DEP to be done every 5 years, and we're at that time where we have to redo the hydraulic model and flow metering.
Any questions from the committee?
No.
My question is would this be the entire system or just a portion?
The entire system.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from online? Well, thank you very much, and welcome to Stoughton.
Thank you.
Next is Water Department capital. Oh, don't move.
Didn't have to travel far.
Okay, well, this time you want 3 items, so let's start with item 1.
Okay. The first one is Phase 6 of water main improvements, requested for $1.5 million, and that's to continue with water main improvements with the aging infrastructure to update mainline pipes that, old, brittle, breaking, and replace them with newer infrastructure. Increases water quality and pressures throughout the town for the residents.
So how many phases are there?
Well, right now, we're just, we're up to Phase 6. I mean, we have potential to go to Phase 10, but then from there it could be, could keep going on and on and on. And, sorry. Go ahead.
Any questions from the committee?
Yeah, I'm just curious, excuse me, do you, how does it work when a main breaks? Does that come out of this, or is that another?
No, through you, Madam Chair, we just have a main break like we had 12 in the previous 10 days a couple weeks ago. We will fix them internally. It's just, we'll do either cut out a section of the pipe and replace it, and or they can do a wraparound if it's a circular crack. But this right here is to literally all new water main for a whole street, not just a portion.
All right. And what's the lifespan of that? How long is that?
The average lifespan of water main is approximately 75 years. Oh. And we have some from the early 1900s that are still out there.
Wow. All right. Thank you.
Any other members with questions?
I have no questions.
Go ahead. Oh,
I have no questions.
no questions, okay. Obviously, my hearing aids need some adjustment here. Anyone in the audience with questions on item 1? Anyone online? On to item 2, Goddard Well PFAS design.
Yep, this is a request for the Goddard Well PFAS design. We have 2 stations right now that are, one, the construction started, the other one is ready to begin, and this is the 3rd and last one that we have to do the upgrades to mitigate the PFAS. So, we have to go through DEP regulations. You have to do design work first, and then you would go into, bidding and then construction. But this would be the first phase for it.
Is this well online right now?
Yes, it is.
This is our lowest yield well, isn't it?
Say that again, sorry?
Isn't the Goddard Well the lowest yield well?
It's not the lowest. Production-wise, it's one of the lowest. I mean, Pratt's Court right now is producing the lowest.
Oh, okay.
And we're doing, that's underway right now, doing major improvements and PFAS mitigation.
Questions from the board?
I have no questions.
Okay. Questions from the audience? Questions from the audience online? Okay. Item 3, backhoe.
Yeah, the last one is a request for funding to replace our 1999 backhoe. It is beyond its useful life. It's not a reliable piece of equipment. It creeps on its own, so it's very dangerous for our fellow workers when we're working on water main breaks, sewer, drainage, anything. It's just not a reliable piece of equipment. It's constantly breaking down, and we need to replace it so our workers can be more efficient and work safely.
How old is the machine?
It's a 1999, so 26 years old.
Okay. Questions from the committee? Online questions? John, did you have a question? I guess not. Okay. Questions from anyone in the hall? Questions online? Okay, we move on, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now you really can leave.
All right, thank you.
See you at town meeting. Article 25, Information Technology Capital. Come on down. You're welcome. Would you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes. Hello, Madam Chair. Trish Shropshire. I'm the IT Director here for the town of Stoughton.
Welcome. Would you explain a little about item 1, please?
Sure. I have an article to replace our firewalls, which we have 2 of those in all of our network switches on this side of town. It's a hardware replacement. The last time we did it was in 2019. I've also applied for the Community Compact Grant, so if I get this, which I got it last time, we'll be able to yank this article. But I would like to know that we can get this equipment if I don't get the grant.
Any questions from the committee?
Yeah, what are network switches?
Okay, so it's just the boxes that all the network cables get plugged into that allow you to have network access on campus, I mean on location of all the buildings. And then the firewalls is everything from the internet goes through there. We have them managed, and it keeps us safe cybersecurity wise. Like, we need those. We wouldn't be able to run without all of it.
Sure. What are where are the network switches?
Yeah, each location typically has, like this building, we have a few closets. There's 1 per floor, but over at the police, we have an IT closet. Library, we have an IT room. So server rooms typically. but-
Schools, too? The school?
No, this is just the municipal side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Members on Zoom or Google Meets with questions? Public in the hall? Public online with questions? Item 2.
Okay, thank you. That's it. That's all I have, right?
Oh, so you did your switches?
I did both. I did switches and the firewalls together, yep.
Well, talk about Swift.
Yes, I don't want to waste your time, Madam Chair.
Well, I didn't make that clear, so Scott, do you have any firewall questions? Any member of the committee with a firewall question? Any member of the public with a firewall question? Any member of the public online with a firewall question? Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You also. Article 26, Public Works and Facilities Capital. Would you introduce yourself to the public, please?
Paul Jaffoon, Public Works.
Okay. So you have 5 items. Do you want to, well, they are all different. So start with item 1, please.
I don't have a listen for, is item 1 the bucket truck?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Unforeseen building
Okay.
/ facility maintenance, $75,000.
Sure.
Excuse me, Paul, if you just look at the agenda, the list is on the agenda to your left.
Yeah,
Please, if not.
not.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, it isn't.
That's okay.
I'm happy to read them.
Yeah. Okay, the 75,000, we did this 2 years ago, and we spent the money right away. You know, we have a lot of old buildings and old systems within those buildings. It's just an effort to preemptively have appropriations funding for something if and when, not if, but when something catastrophic happens.
Any questions on unforeseen building / facility maintenance from the committee? Yes, Scott?
Yeah, is this enough?
Well, it's never enough, but it's a good number for
Yeah.
now.
All right. You said you used it up really fast the last time?
Last time we used it quickly, yep.
Yeah, what was that on?
We used it here for some new flooring, so we had a flood here 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 years ago, and then we brought basically all the finishes up to 2023 standards at that time, but there were some areas within the building that were not covered by the insurance company, so we used a lot of that money to do that.
Nice. Okay, thanks.
Any members online with a question?
I have no questions.
Any member in the audience? Any member online? Any member of the public online? Okay, on to used bucket truck DPW, 60,000.
Okay. So you don't have any quotes in front of you or anything, because there's no quote for something we don't know what we're going to buy used, but looking around within the market, there are used bucket trucks for the size and, and capabilities of what we need for between $45,000 and $70,000. So we thought 60,000 was a good number. The reason we need this, our last bucket truck, we sold at auction a year and a half ago due to safety concerns, and the cost of those improvements far outweighed the cost of the equipment itself.
Any questions from the committee on the used bucket truck?
What does a new one cost?
Well, it could be 150, 180. It's not an everyday driver, but we've been paving a lot of streets, so in the process of paving, the first thing that we want to do is cut any tree limbs or anything overhanging our rights of way, also saving the trash trucks from getting ruined by branches. Also, we had a windy storm over the weekend. We got called in Saturday for some trees. Sometimes they're up higher and stuff is hanging, and we need the equipment.
And so, what year of a truck will this get? How much life do you get out of that?
We could,
$60,000 truck.
Yeah, we could get about 10, 12 years out of it. A year, anything, 16, 17 or later.
Yeah. I'm just personally of a different mindset of you buy a new one and get the length out of it, and you buy it once instead of multiples, but, if this is...
But again, it's not an everyday driver. That's the thought into that.
Yeah, okay.
And don't you have a second one?
Second bucket truck, we do not.
Does the fire department have one?
They do a very old one.
Okay. Any committee members with a question?
I don't have a question. Scott asked the question I was going to ask. So
Okay.
I have no questions.
Thank you. Any member of the audience with a question about the bucket truck? Any member of the public online with a bucket truck question? Now, Mr. Gafion, I don't think you will be doing 3, 4, and 5, right? Those
I
are
don't
other
believe so,
departments?
but if
well,
you refresh my memory,
the
maybe.
passenger van, and I see
Matt's here, he'll do that.
item 3 is a 15-passenger van for recreation, 60,000. Would you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Matt Koshan, Director of Recreation Youth Services. So this is for a 15-passenger van for recreation. We use this van for summer camp, early Thursday field trips, school vacation trips. Currently, we do use the one town-owned van that the COA has. The other are BAT-owned. The issues that we've had with this vans is they've been frankly unreliable, and the COA as well. They've been increasing rides themselves. Last year alone in medical rides, they were up 6,896 in just medical rides alone. This will also help us reduce the cost of contracting out for busing. Just summer alone, we spent over $20,000. So we'll be able to keep that cost low, which will keep our programs at an affordable rate for residents. Another thing as well is when we're moving supplies around town, we have a lot of programs around town, not in our office. We're constantly using the town's facility van whenever scheduling allows, so we take it from whatever they're doing. So we'll be able to use this to lug supplies around town and then make it easier for us to deal with last minute changes of programming and not be so reliable on the COA or facilities department.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee online?
I have no questions.
Thank you, John. Anyone with a question in the audience? Anyone with a question online? Thank you. Item 4 is record storage for clerks. Would you, it's $25,000. Would you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Yes. Mark Tisdale, Assistant Town Manager, Town Engineer. I'm here representing the clerk's office for their record storage article for $25,000. In the basement, there's an area where there's a vault in the basement. They're at capacity, pretty much. It's a defined area. There's no other area to store records. What they're trying to do is just get more efficient storage in that area. There's certain storage cases you can have on wheels, so you don't necessarily need aisles between filing cabinets. With these cases, they're more efficient. You can actually move them up against each other and then move them away. They're on rails, so you can really maximize the storage in the same spot, and that's what the clerks are trying to do.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee online?
I have no questions.
Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience online? I haven't been in the basement in a while, but I mean, for years we just had boxes stacked up down there, which is about as secure as my front porch is from Porch Pirates. So I've seen the similar setups other places, so it sounds like a good idea. We're not going to build any more safes in Town Hall, so we just have to, as you pointed out, maximize the space we have. Thank you very much. Are you going to be here for the Town Hall safety audit for $75,000?
I believe I will be.
So what kind of safety audit are we doing?
That part of the article is getting withdrawn. We're not doing a safety audit. We are doing a safety audit, but not through the article funding.
Oh, yes, I think I was at the FinCom. You're going to withdraw that part of it?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I'm just assuming there's no questions if it's going to be withdrawn. Thank you very much. Next is Article 27, Police Department Capital. Looks like you're going to have to share a mic. Oh, there's one at the other end. Would you each introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Good evening. Thank you. Chief Donna McNamara.
Deputy Chief James O'Connor.
Thank you both. Item 1, please. Live scan fingerprint machine, $22,000.
So that's the machine we use to fingerprint arrests, get their palm prints, also for firearms licensing, applicants for jobs. And we got our last one in about 2016. So the technology has just greatly improved and it's coming to the end of life.
Is this automatically attached or hitched up with CODIS? Or is that a separate, you'd have to do a separate entry?
CODIS is DNA, APHIS is fingerprints, and yes, it is.
I evidently am falling asleep during these crime shows and getting, but, so my question would be, if you're fingerprinting someone for a job, do they automatically go through APHIS?
Yes, it gets submitted to the state and the FBI, and then we get a printout result back letting us know, one, it verifies if they've had prints for whatever reason, prior occasion, it matches them. And if there's any type of criminal record, it lets us know what that is.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee online?
I have no questions.
Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience online? Up to item 2, cruisers, 3 marked, 1 unmarked, $256,000.
So we're looking to replace 3 marked cruisers and 1 unmarked, which would be adding to the fleet. The 3 marked cruisers will be, when they're replaced, will be traded in.
Any questions from the committee?
Does that number include, like, is that calculated based on what you know you're going to get when you trade it in? When you trade the vehicle?
We do not know what we're getting when we trade it in. So once approved, we normally do not order the vehicle until the fall. We don't order it right away in July. We order it in October and then take delivery between May and June. We do that on purpose so that we get through the winter with the older vehicles and then get the newer vehicles in the spring.
Okay. And are these cruisers, these are like the SUVs? They're
Yes.
all SUVs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Criminals are getting bigger. Any questions from the committee online?
I have no questions.
Any question from the hall? Any questions from the public online? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fire Department capital, ladder truck, $2,250,000. Would you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Good evening, Michael Carroll, Fire Chief. Along with me is Assistant Chief Jack Maycomber.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, you only have to talk about one thing, but it's a big one.
Yes, I know, and unfortunately, you know, it's a state of the industry right now. Right.
None of this comes from Canada or Mexico, right?
Wisconsin, or Florida, depending on where they put it together. But essentially, we're looking to replace our 1988 ladder truck, which was our reserve. We have a 2011 is our front running piece. This has been on our vehicle rotation policy for a number of years. It's been on our 5-year plan the past few years as consistently. The problem we're having right now in the industry itself is the delay. Right now, what I'm asking for is the $2.2 million we did design, and that would be specific to our truck. The escalation is 6 to 8% per year. What I'm hoping to do here is by signing a contract, getting in line, we wouldn't have to pay anything until we receive it, which they're anticipating 44 months or 3.6 years. But by locking in that number, we could save anywhere from $499,786 upwards to up to $683,502. Really, I'm just looking to get in line right now. Again, there's a lot of issues with the manufacturing companies. There's a monopoly right now. It's in a lot of articles. You might have seen it with the LA fires. It's a problem. So I come to you. I know it's expensive, but you know, last ladder we got was on a grant. So I think last time we paid for a ladder truck was in 1988. Any questions?
Do you have any questions? Any questions from the committee on Google Meets?
I have no questions.
My question would be how many floors up does the ladder go?
So it would be a 110-foot ladder truck. We are actually looking to get a platform aerial, is what they call it. You might have seen them. It's more of a sort of a bucket that you can operate from the bucket. It's incredible, the technology. Right now, the ladder truck, the 1988, you have 2 pieces of rope you have to tie to direct the water. It looks like you're flying a kite. This is just light years. I know, it's light years ahead. As a matter of fact, I just was over in Brockton. They were operating it. Really saved the fire from spreading the whole block on Legion Parkway. So
how many floors are we going?
well, it depends on where you park, right? So that's always a question. We'll reach anything in the town of Stoughton.
So it would reach any residents in the town?
Oh, yes. The problem is that there are some up on Phoenix Lane and stuff. The lawns are really, really big, and you can't access the driveways. It should make that stretch for what we have to do.
Madam Chair?
Yes?
You'll note in the special town meeting warrant that'll be voted on by the Select Board tomorrow evening, the financial plan for paying for this truck is to place $1.2 million down on the truck when we take order to it, and when we take delivery, we expect to pay it off in cash. However, in order for them to hold the truck, there needs to be a borrowing. Although we will not borrow the money, we need to be approved for the borrowing. So that is what the article is speaking to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any members on the online with questions?
I have no questions.
Anyone in the audience? The audience online? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Article 29, Cedar Hill Capital. Welcome. Would you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Victor Baruza, Cedar Hill Golf Course Superintendent.
We'll start with item 1.
For the budget,
It's a bunker rake for $32,000.
bunker rake is used for cleaning out the bunkers. It's also used for site preparation, leveling. It has a number of different uses, and where we're starting to do more projects in-house instead of going outside, it's going to get a lot of use 6 to 7 days a week. So,
Is a bunker rake an attachment, or is it a machine by itself?
it's a machine by itself. It's a 3-wheeled machine, goes inside the bunkers and straightens them out, levels them out.
Any questions? Any questions from the committee?
I have no questions.
Questions from the hall? Questions online? Fairway mower, $70,000.
Our current mower is at the end of its life. We are limping through, and it's getting more costly to keep up with it. It's okay as a backup machine, but we're looking at going electric, and for the environment, for sound, lots of different reasons. Maintenance is a lot easier, and there's some phenomenal rebates on them as well, but it's definitely a cost-effective way of doing things. And so we're looking at a $70,000 electric mower for the fairways.
Questions from the committee? Questions from the committee online?
I have no questions.
Questions from the audience? Questions from the audience online? Multi-purpose vehicle, $56,000.
So this is a small tractor with a number of attachments that can be, there's probably 30 different attachments that you could put on it. We're not looking for 30, but we're going to start off with 2 or 3. A stump grinder, lots of things that could, if we brought in a tree company to come in and do stump grinding for us, it would pay for that attachment in 1 day. The machine itself, it also has mower attachments. It can be used as a backup for those things. It can be more site prep for doing all those projects in-house. So We do have a lot of little projects that we're doing to make sure that we take things to the next level, and what our golfers are coming to appreciate and expect. So that's what those machines would be for.
Any questions? Questions from the committee online?
No question.
Okay. You said no questions, right?
Right.
Okay, my observation, first, the disclaimer, I am a member of the Cedar Hill Golf Course Operations Committee, but also for the public at large to know that this is a heavily wooded course, and a lot of the wood is pine, which you sneeze at and it comes over.
Correct.
So that something like a stump grinder, as was pointed out, because my brother used to do that, you just do a couple of stumps and you've paid for
Correct.
the machine, although my brother didn't charge quite that much. And item 4, unforeseen building maintenance, $25,000.
What this is access to our retained earnings for any unforeseen emergencies that aren't budgeted. Example, should the motor go on the irrigation system, this is not something that we can wait on for meetings and getting approval. It's also $7,000, and it would put a serious dent in my budget. So with that, this is just access for those unforeseen emergencies. It's not for routine maintenance or anything else. It's just in case we have access to that, that's all. And that was under recommendation of our accountant.
Questions? Questions from the committee?
No
Online?
questions.
Okay. And as Mr. Veruza mentioned, besides this being a golf course, it is a restaurant. There is a restaurant on premise. And if something goes down, we really can't spend too much time, especially if it's part of the HVAC system or something like that. And then you have
HVAC or
to close
plumbing,
to the
you're right,
public.
correct.
And the vendor has a contract with the town, and part of that is that they're able to stay open. Okay, that's, well, anyone in the audience with a question on the unforeseen building maintenance? Anyone online? Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you, have a great night.
School Department Capital. Anyone here for that? Second call for School Department Capital. Are you online? Well, thank you for coming. Open Space Plan Update. Article 31, $70,000. We can't draft you for the school articles.
Good evening, Mark Tisdale, Assistant Town Manager, Town Engineer. The article is for the open space plan to fund an update of it. We already have an open space plan, but what they do is they expire every 7 years. So this is to perform an update. This is on behalf of the Open Space Committee, and it's for us. It was originally for $70,000, but we just got word from a grant we received late last week that we got about a $32,500 grant. So that number will be reduced by the time we get to town meeting to about $35,000. So that's good news. So a lot of hard work and effort by that committee to apply for that grant, and they got it. So that's it. It's pretty much projects like Glen Elko, like Cape and Reynolds, things like that, that come from the open space plan. You know, the Bird Street Trail Network, we got grants and projects like that. All that comes from the open space plan.
Any questions?
So is this, this number will be modified before it goes to town meeting? That's what you said?
Right, so the FinCom, the Finance Committee, will modify their motion. I just sent the new information to them today.
Yep.
So instead of funding $70,000, it'll be the fund, hopefully $35,000. So build a little buffer in there in case there's an extra meeting or two that the Old Colony Planning Council has to come to.
Sure.
Yep.
Any questions online?
I have no questions.
The point is that we're getting a grant because we had an open space plan, and if we keep up to date, then we're eligible for more grants. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience online? Thank you. Are you here for Article 2, the Septic Betterment Program funding?
I am.
And that is $400,000.
Yep, that is $400,000. This is a housekeeping matter. Every 3 or 4 years, I think, if you recall, at town meeting, there's about a $400,000 articles to replenish the pot for the septic betterment program. It's actually a loan program. The betterment's kind of misleading. That's what they call it. It's a 5% loan program to repair your septic system. You know, if you have sewer near your house, you can use it to connect with your sewer connections and things like that. If you have a septic, you can use it to repair your septic. We get repaid the money, so the money comes back into our Title V receipts in our budget. It's just that we're like a pass-through entity so people can get a loan to repair their septic systems.
Any questions?
So just to be clear, because maybe I have a septic, it's a 5% discount for a resident through this program?
It's a low interest rate, so you borrow the money at a 5% interest rate.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Any questions from the committee online?
No questions.
Questions from the audience? Questions from the audience online? And I know you're here for Article 33, Town Hall Traffic, Parking, Pocket Park, and Landscape Improvements. This is the, to fund the construction, so it's $1,200,000.
Yes. All right, I'll give you a summary. I'm sure everybody has all the PowerPoint that was sent out as part of the backup information. Well, there's only one here, but I do have copies if anybody would like them. Would you like a paper copy?
I believe I have one.
Okay.
I think I have 3.
You probably do. You've been.
Scott, would you like one? Okay.
Thank
Thank you for bringing them.
No problem. This has been around for a while. As you remember, at last town meeting, we had a design article to fund the design of improved traffic plan around Town Hall, landscaping, and ADA improvements. Pocket Park features also. And that design is complete, and this is a result of that design. So what we're doing is we're improving traffic circulation around Town Hall. We're doing compliant driveway signage and striping. None of it's really compliant right now. We're increasing public parking around Town Hall. We're actually adding 9 public parking spaces, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you only have 16 public parking spaces, it's a tremendous improvement. And as you know, when you're trying to park around Town Hall when there's meetings, it's usually a challenge. The ADA improvements are key. You know, the parking spaces are far away from the ramp. They're non-compliant. There's no walkway to get to the ramp from the parking spaces. Loading areas are non-compliant. It's an older area, so all that will be updated to be compliant with ADA. We will be providing a few sitting areas, one near where the bell is, and the bell will be staying where it is. That was a topic of conversation about moving the bell. We won't move the bell anymore. So, there'll be a plaza in the corner of where Pearl and Porter Street meet. That'll be an open area. Right now, it's where the overgrown shrubs are, and you can't really see the Boy Scout signs there. I think it was from the Boy Scouts, the Town of Stoughton sign. That'll be accentuated now in the corner, and there'll be a message board there on the corner. And then around Town Hall we won't be going crazy with landscaping, but we'll definitely have an improvement around landscaping around Town Hall that we can maintain, which is important. You can go crazy, and then if you don't maintain it, it's going to fall apart and look worse. So we do have a landscaping plan prepared for this, and we are going to form a little subcommittee of different stakeholders to get involved with some more details regarding what the plantings are and things of that nature. So it's a project that we're very proud of. It's a community project, so we want everybody to be part of it. There's been a survey with 150 people who have responded to it, and over 85% of the people are in favor of the project. Everybody has a comment or two, and we read the comments and we see the trends and we incorporate those comments. Hence the non-moving of the bell. That bell came from that. We'll be taking the flagpole, putting it on the corner of Town Hall. The PowerPoint speaks for itself. It is online. I would urge everybody to go view the PowerPoint. Email me with any questions. There is a survey there online too that you can take. But in a nutshell, that's essentially what the project is. The funding is done in about 3 different ways. It's a $1.2 million project, which is obviously very expensive. But 820,000 is coming from the CPC. They've already voted that in unanimously as a recommendation to town meeting. So that's money we already have. The rest of it would come from free cash. That would be 380,000, but we did apply for a grant for 250,000, the Shared Streets grant, that we think we're going to get all or most of that money. So there'll be a minimal cost to the town out of our free cash to actually build this project. So it's the right time, it's the right opportunity to actually do this project.
Any questions?
Yeah, I do. I'm just curious, I feel like there's about 700 landscape companies in town. Do you ever solicit them for any, pro bono work or anything like that, whereas they could get their name put on a plaque or something? Is that something, can you do that? I don't know if that's...
I think we have done that in the past. Certain companies have come in the square, I think, in the middle there, and have provided the plantings and the mulch over there, and I think we put a sign up or something like that. I'd have to dig into more of it. We don't do a lot of that, but I think I've seen other towns do it, so it's an opportunity. But I don't have a lot of details on what we do now regarding that. I'd have to get back to you on it.
Yeah. Tom looked like he was willing to jump in on that.
Tom's talking about this has to go through a procurement process, so we'll refer to our town manager on that one.
Well, we do a lot of that at the golf course, of course, and for years, the Friends of Stoughton had volunteers that maintained flower boxes and flower barrels. For something like that, people do come forward. Also, about a third of our population is descended from folks who came here from volcanic islands, where the soil is so rich that flowers grow everywhere. And I have heard folks from that community bemoan the lack of flora around Town Hall. They really, for them, that kind of makes it an official building, so I hope that happens. Any more questions from the members of the committee?
Yes, I have a question.
Of course.
Will this be very similar to the pocket park that's in front of the high school?
That's not germane to this issue, John.
Excuse me?
The pocket park at the high school isn't germane to this issue. Are you saying, will it be like?
I'm asking if it's going to be similar to that one.
There'll be features that are similar to that one. That's a very long pocket park. There'll be parts of the landscaping in the front that will have the benches with landscaping around it. So there are pocket park features that will be applied to this project.
And is the same landscaper going to take care of this, that takes care of that one?
I don't know who takes care of that one for the schools. We will have either our DPW, and if it's not something they can handle, we'll have to have either volunteers that are qualified to do that or hired out to a private company.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone in the audience? Anyone from the public online? Thank you. So next, are you going to do police station renovation expansion design?
Sure.
While you're here? I haven't seen a PowerPoint presentation on this particular. Are you going to have one at town meeting?
All right, well, you bring up a good point. You haven't seen one because we haven't finished our work for part one, which is the feasibility study for $300,000 that was awarded a couple years ago at town meeting, I believe. So this article is actually funding part two, which is just an enhancement of the feasibility study to bring it to what they call schematic design. It's not a full design, but it brings you to a level with the plans where you can get a very good cost estimate for construction, which town meeting deserves and they want to see. The feasibility study that's undergoing right now, if you remember, the driving force behind that project is the site. At this point, the building's obviously important. You got to know how big the building is, but the site's very important because parking around the building is critical, and it's going to be very tight with the limits they have to work with. So we did the full property survey around the building, got all the utilities, all the easements established, all that kind of thing, and they've programmed the new building size. So they're compiling those plans as we speak. Unfortunately, they won't be complete by the time we had they're definitely not complete by finance committee meetings, this meeting. They may be complete by town meeting, but we didn't feel that it was fair to the public to throw you an article at town meeting without fully vetting the project before town meeting with an informational meeting and things of that nature. It's it's a building, so even the select board should know the results before anybody else. Then have informational meetings and things of that nature. So we're tabling it. I wouldn't say we're dismissing it. It's just going to be tabled to a future town meeting.
Oh, well, thank you. Just for the public, that was going to be $675,000. Article 36, and this is Glen Echo Pavilion and Benches. It's $180,000 with the funds coming from the Community Preservation Act. Did you want to say anything? Eric, I saw you.
Yes, I'm here. Hello. I have a PowerPoint. I guess it doesn't get put on a screen, but I hope everybody has it. Madam Chair, does everyone have that?
It's on the screen now.
Yes. It says proposed
Does everybody
location of
have
shade
the-
pavilion.
Oh, it's short.
Go ahead, we have all night.
Well, do you have the pictures that are sent to Bob Mullen? Does everyone have that?
On the screen.
Oh, okay, I can't see the, oh yeah, I guess you can't see the screen. Okay, I figured you wouldn't have it. Good. All right, so that's what you're looking at. I have to make this larger. All right, yeah, that's Glen Echo Park. Good, next one. Can you go to the next slide? Or should I just do it and you can look at your papers?
I'm on slide 2, Eric, slide 2.
Okay, that's the architect's plan, and we're doing much of what he said. The shape of it's going to be in a different spot, but we're trying to get much of what he's done in there. Next slide, please. I'll try to move things along. All right, what you see in the pink area, the pink spot here, is where the shade pavilion is supposed to be. And there's going to be benches. I don't know if that's in that particular slide, but benches near the water. I think it is in that slide. Facing the water, 2 facing the water, 1 on the other side of the roadway going to the lake, and 1 at the what I consider the viewpoint further up on the right side, and you can look over the beautiful pond. Next slide, please. So that's just showing the rectangle around the circular traffic area roadway. Next slide, please. That's the little pink thing here on the left side is where the shade pavilion is going to be. And this one shows, I guess it would be this one that shows where the benches would be going. Okay, and next slide. Please. Was that all you've got? No, you just did more.
We're at the pavilion?
The pavilion, please, yes.
Yep. Okay, that should be showing, I believe. Wait a minute.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
All right, that's identical to the one we're looking for. It's in Beverly, Mass., which is a nice place. So we're doing quality here. These are it's a steel-supported area, and the beam, everything here is steel. I think the roof is as well. And we're having this is 24 by 44, and the concrete pad is going to be larger underneath it. And half of the shade pavilion is going to have benches, it's going to have picnic tables, and the other half will be open for whatever use people want to have for it. And next slide, please. Have you got more? But this is one of the benches that we're looking for. It's made of recycled material. It's, as you can see, similar to the Harbor Walk and the JFK Library, and also near the Cape Cod Canal. And one more, I believe, or actually two more. You got that one, and there's the ADA table. So we've got 3 tables that currently exist on a pad that's going to be removed, and the 3 tables that are on the pad are going to be put in this new pad, and it'll be underneath the shade pavilion. So there'll be 4 tables, 2 of which are ADA compliant. And next one is going to be our budget. And Bob, do you have the one that I gave you showing what the roadway is going to look like going to the pond with the boulders on the sides?
I don't have that. Can you give me a minute to get it?
I can give you all the time you want.
All right. Can I cancel your budget here? Can I close this out?
Don't cancel my budget.
No, I meant to say close it out. I'll rephrase that. Close out the screen.
Okay, thank you.
See if I can get rid of it.
What you see behind me in this, on my picture here is Glen Echo Park from the water in a kayak. I took a photo and it's my background. So it's a very pretty place. So hopefully everybody's been there and have enjoyed it. This is a great one.
This is Donna Flynn in Precinct 1. I recently went back up there. I hadn't been up since before the trails were marked, and it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. Thank you.
Thank you. Have you finished, Eric?
Yes, what?
Okay, I'm going to ask my committee if they have any questions. Scott?
Yeah, so hi, Eric.
That's good.
How you doing? I have a question on the pavilion. Is that going to be a rent type situation? Like people need to reserve that pavilion, or is that just going to kind of be like a first come, first serve sort of?
Excellent question. I spoke with Matt in Recreation, and if somebody wants to have a birthday party, and this is his decision, it's not ours in the Glen Echo Committee, but he said if somebody wants to have a party there, they would pay a nominal fee and be able to reserve that site. Otherwise, it's open for everybody. Cool.
We have something similar when you want to use the gazebo at Veterans Memorial Park. You have to reserve it and you pay a modest cleanup fee so that if there's a wedding reception or something, that it isn't left a mess for Public Works to pick up.
So all the confetti would be taken away.
And if Public Works determines that the place is as clean as it was in the beginning, then the fee is returned.
Well, that's up to Matt how he wants to handle that.
Did you have other questions? Did anyone else on the committee online have a question?
I don't have any questions. I mean, I go up there all the time.
The audience online? My question is the pavilion electrified? Is there electricity available?
No, there's no electricity down there.
Okay,
Just up to the gate, I believe.
okay. Good to know. Thank you for your presentation and your patience to be at the end.
Thank you for your perseverance.
Good night.
Good night.
Now, someone said that, the town manager said that,
Madam Chair, the school superintendent, Joseph Bayetta, I believe, is on the call. Mr. Bayetta, are you there?
I am. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
okay, you're presenting Article 30, School Department Capital. We do each item separately, so start with item 1, firewall replacement, $168,338.
So the technology needs of the district are expiring in April of 26, and it needs to be replaced in FY26. This is the firewall. As you know, this is very important. We just recently actually had an issue with the firewall. So the failure to upgrade it, if you will, means that our supports and our updates from the manufacturer of the firewall that we use will not be available to us. So this is a high priority item for us. It says in the notes for a total of $168,338.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee online?
I have no questions.
Do you?
He said no.
He said no, okay.
I don't.
We'll move on to item 2, wireless access points, $461,388.
Excuse me, Madam Chair, did you want to ask the public? You skipped over the public.
Oh, anyone in the hall? Any member of the public who wishes to ask about the firewall replacement? Okay, so we're on to wireless access points.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the committee, again, this access points in wireless, the life expectancy ends in September of 26, meaning that we'll no longer receive any of the updates, the security patches, which of course are very important, or support for the actual devices, which are the access points themselves. If we don't deal with this, this will disrupt everything to do with communications, efficiencies, teaching and learning, of course, and everything to do with the school environment. As you know, it's all on, much of it online. So this would allow for all the connectivity to take place at all 8 buildings for $461,388.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the committee online? Any questions from up? Was there someone?
No.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience online? And the last item, Dr. Bayetta, redistricting study, $90,000.
Thank you, Madam Chair, through you to the committee. The redistricting, as you know, has two potential areas. One, which could take a little longer, is that the April 8th vote goes through for the new elementary building. We would still be redistricting, and therefore the plan would not need to really start taking place until next year, where we would be redistricting the entire K-5 district, including pre-K, moving to the Wilkins School. In terms of the studies, what we did, because this was very difficult to figure out, is we looked at all of the most recent redistricting of districts of our size or bigger, and based on the average low of 60,000 and the high of 135,000, we felt that we would not need any more than up to $90,000 in order to do one of two studies, either one for a new elementary school, or the second, which would be earlier, for redistricting for the purposes of closing this out and moving to modular classrooms throughout the district.
Any questions from the committee?
Yeah, hi, Dr. Baida. Who actually gets paid this money? Is it an organization, independent organization?
Yeah, we have to go out for a bid process for this. It would be a proposal based on a service delivery model for us. So we would put out, and a number of different companies are involved with this. There's two major companies in Massachusetts, or that do a lot of the Massachusetts work, but there are a number of companies that could potentially bid on this. So yeah, there is a third-party source that would be doing this for us.
Right. Cool, thank you.
You bet.
Was that it?
I have no questions.
All right. Anyone in the audience? Anyone online? Anyone in the committee? Okay. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for your patience, as I was not aware of this. I'll make sure that I get on top of this. I appreciate your flexibility in allowing us to come in and do this, and thank you to the moderator for contacting me.
I think the person who contacted him was wasn't it?
No, it was me. It was
was
the
you?
moderator.
Okay, well,
You're welcome.
we'll try not to have any more glitches.
It's okay. I'll make sure that I'm looking for this stuff in the future. I thank you again for your patience and your time.
But you got to read your sharper saver.
Yes, I knew you were going to go in that direction, Madam Chair, in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
It is 8:21. How does the committee feel about going ahead with the voting? I mean, that'll save everybody one more night of
Let's proceed.
fun. Okay, here's how we do this. You make a motion, whether you're going to recommend approval, recommend disapproval, or recommend, what's the third choice?
Just a referral.
Recommend referral. I don't think that'll come up tonight. And then we get a second, if there is one. Then we talk if we need to, ask questions, and then we vote. And the vote has to be
Roll call.
roll call because we're hybrid. And I'm just going to go in line. We're starting with Article 22, which is the 5-year revaluation of all properties in town, and it's $200,000. Could I have a motion?
Motion to approve Article 22.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay, we'll vote. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia approves. Scott?
Approve.
Eileen? Winchell?
Winchell's online. He just has to unmute. There he goes.
That was a yes.
What did he say? Yes. Janice McKenna? Okay, it appears it was 5-0 to recommend approval. Article 23, Sewer Department Capital. That's the inflow and infiltration program, the sewer system hydraulic model, and together they're $650,000.
Motion to approve Article 23.
Second.
Any discussion on that article? I'm going for the vote now. The recommendation is approval. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
Winchell?
Yes.
Okay, another unanimous approval. Water Department capital. Water main improvements, Goddard Well PFAS design, backhoe, and together it's $1,960,000.
Motion to approve Article 24.
Second.
Any discussion? Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
Winchell?
Yes.
Next is Information Technology Capital.
That's John DeStefano.
John DeStefano, I'm sorry. We're on Article 25, Information Technology Capital, network switches, firewall replacement, and together it's $151,000. Could I have a motion?
Motion to approve Article 25.
Second.
That's John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
And Winchell?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, now we're on Article 26, Public Works and Facilities Capital, unforeseen building facility maintenance, used bucket truck, 15-passenger van, record storage, town hall safety audit. If there's anyone who wants to separate something out, speak now. Otherwise, we'll just do them all. Could I have a motion then on those 5 items?
Motion to approve Article 26.
Second.
That's John DeStefano seconding. Altogether, it's $295,000. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
Winchell?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is Article 27, Police Department Capital, the live scan fingerprint machine, and 3 cruisers, including 1 unmarked. The estimated cost is $278,000.
Motion to approve Article 27.
Second.
That's John DeStefano seconding. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
Winchell?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, on these ones where they have more than 1 item, if anyone feels strongly about 1 item or other, please, let me know. Next is Article 28, Fire Department Capital, ladder truck, $2,250,000.
Motion to approve Article 28.
Second.
Seconded by John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Yes.
Winchell?
Yes.
Article 29, Cedar Hill Capital, the bunker rake, the fairway mower, the multi-purpose vehicle, and the unforeseen building and maintenance. And just as a reminder, this is an enterprise fund, so this money comes out of the Cedar Hill fund. It doesn't come out of the taxpayers' dollar. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve Article 29.
Second.
Seconded by John DeStefano. Okay. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia is abstaining because she's a member of the Cedar Hill Golf Course Operations Committee. Scott?
Approve.
And Winchell?
Yes.
Okay. That's still a majority. Now we're up to Article 30, the School Department Capital, firewall replacement, wireless access points, redistricting study. Altogether, $719,726.
Motion to approve Article 30.
Second.
That's John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
And Winchell?
Yes.
Article 31, Open Space and Recreation Plan Update. And this will be $70,000.
Motion to approve Article 31.
Second.
Seconded by John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Yes.
And Winchell?
Yes.
Thank you. Article 32, Septic Betterment Program Funding, $400,000, and eventually the town gets that money back with interest.
Motion to approve Article 32.
Second.
That's John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
And Winchell?
Yes.
Article 33, Town Hall Traffic, Parking, Pocket Park, and Landscape Improvements. The estimated cost is $1,200,000, and we're getting $820,000 from CPC, and we believe we'll be getting a grant for $250,000, and the rest will come from free cash.
Motion to approve Article 33.
Second.
That's John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
And Winchell?
Yes.
Do we need to vote, Mr. Moderator? Article 34 is going to be withdrawn.
Was that into, I must have been,
Yeah, it was tabled.
it was tabled,
Well, it can't be tabled.
Yeah, it's
He
be
meant
withdrawn.
Yeah, yeah.
Or dismissed.
dismissed. So
The petitioner said it's going to be dismissed.
who was the petitioner? Well, who was at the table? Was it Assistant Town Manager, I believe?
Yes.
Okay.
So for Article 34, we would just put no vote, motion will be dismissed.
Correct.
Okay, I think we are up to the last. Have you got 13, Mr. Moderator, so far?
Yes.
Okay, number 14, drum roll. Article 36, Glen Echo Pavilion and benches. Now, this money is coming from the CPC, $180,000.
Motion to approve Article 36.
Second.
That's John DeStefano. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia, yes. Scott?
Approve.
And Winchell?
Did you hear me? Yes.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, I want to thank the members who attended in person and the members who were able to join us online. I guess that's going to have to be the coming thing. It's more popular. You can relax at home. And again, thank you, and
Good night, everybody.
You need a motion to
Glen Echo
adjourn.
Park.
oh, I need a minute.
Motion to adjourn, remember.
Oh,
Second.
I can't just do it. May I have a
Motion to
motion?
adjourn.
Who made that motion?
Winchell.
I did.
Okay, and who seconded it?
I did. Seconded.
Okay, this is the motion to adjourn. Donna?
Approve.
John?
Approve.
Cynthia says yes. Scott?
Yes.
And Winchell?
Yes.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.